Hello and welcome back to Jared's Weekly Digest. I am your host, Jared. Let's get straight into it. I've got a question I've been dying to ask you. All right, gay marriage. It was new and trendy in 2015, but are we ready to move past it now? This week, Idaho's House State Affairs Committee decided in a 13-2 vote to formally ask the United States Supreme Court to reconsider their 2015 legalization of same-sex marriage. Hypothetically, if Idaho gets its way, same-sex marriage would be a state's right to decide. And I'm assuming if Idaho had the right to decide, they would reverse same-sex marriage to just be between a man and a woman. Despite there being negative reaction online, I would like to argue that Idaho might have some claim to their argument. I'm a gay man and I know a handful of other gay individuals, some who even happen to be married themselves. And all the gay people I know behave. But that being said, I know no gay people in Idaho. So it could be that these gay people in Idaho are misbehaving. And the Idaho lawmakers may need to protect their citizens from these individuals. If I had to assume the type of harm these gay married criminals were committing in their state, this is a short list. Causing property damage to street sewer drains clogged with glitter after pride parades, statewide famine after causing harm to the potato farming industry, after consuming large amounts of water during douching, or increasing automobile accidents while scrolling on Grindr while driving. I could go on and on, but we do have other topics to talk about. I did want to ensure, though, that there was a fair conversation happening and it wasn't just one-sided. Therefore, Idaho House Affairs Committee, you better sissy that walk and claim all tea, no shade. Last week I shared with you all the type of impact coyotes have been having in Chicago during their annual mating season. If you forgot, coyotes' peak mating season falls between January and March, which means they've been cruising in Chicago all month long and will continue to do so throughout March. This said, coyotes have been less than considerate of their surroundings, impacting the everyday lives of citizens of Chicago. This week, coyotes have continued to cause havoc. As the United passenger jet was preparing to take off on the runway, an unnoticed coyote was also on the same runway. And it didn't become noticed until the plane ran over the coyote. The plane remained grounded until the landing gear was examined and declared safe for flight. What I find most interesting about this story is that the crew initially thought they had hit a bird. Why would they think that? I have no idea. They have a full dog wrapped around the wheel of the plane. The wheel's not even covered in feathers, it's covered in fur. Maybe I'm assuming that the coyote was ran over, right? I look at the article, it doesn't necessarily say it was ran over, right? I assume that. Maybe the coyote actually hit the body of the plane. But that doesn't make sense to me either, because why would the coyote be in the air, right? If it hit the body, it has to be in the air. Regardless of the facts, it's obvious Chicago has a coyote issue, and it's only going to prevail throughout March, as this is only month 1 of 3 of mating season. I joined a queer basketball league for the winter, and I have some observations I'd like to share with you. The first one being, I am fostering some unconscious biases. For some reason, I thought me, a 5'8" man, was going to be amongst the taller people in this league. Some portion of my brain assumed that just because this was the predominantly gay league, these people were going to be short. I was wrong. Basketball is a tall person sport, and this league is no different. When I first walked in, I thought I was watching the straight games finish up. But no, I was told to wait by the court and be ready to hop in. Hop in to do what? I'm not playing amongst these giants. Fortunately, however, the league that I signed up is for beginners and rec players. So the people that I would assume to be good just because of their height are actually shooting bricks just like me. To illustrate the level of skill these players I'm playing with, the league, after our games this weekend, posted clips of each game on their Instagram story. And out of the 6 clips that they posted, not a single basket was made. And these were long clips. The second observation I noticed is that the better dressed you are for basketball, the worse you are. This wasn't an observation I made on my own. It was an observation pointed out to me by a fellow teammate, right? So after our games finished up, we stuck around and watched another team play. And while we were watching, my teammate pointed out the best dressed guy on their team, who just so happened to be missing every shot he took. To further prove his point, he pointed to the other game that was going on and the same phenomenon was happening. The guy who was giving LeBron realness was also giving basketball delusion. So when I got home, I decided to immediately empty my Depop cart full of vintage basketball gear and decide to tell no one on my team what I was planning to wear next weekend to our game. The last observation I'd like to share with you is that defense is easy and offense is hard. Defense is easy because all you gotta do is stand in the way of the other team. I mean, I even do that to my own team when we're playing offense. Defense just comes naturally to me. I'm naturally in the way. regardless of what team you're on. When playing offense, I genuinely have no idea where to stand. In my perspective, the best place to stand when you're on offense is between the 3-point line and the half-court line. That being said, how am I supposed to make a basket from there if I can't even make a layup unless the court is completely empty? Most people take shots from within the key. Why would I go there? That's where the most defense people are playing. So that seems counterintuitive to me. If I want to be open on offense, why would I be in the key where all the defense is? I should be on the opposite side of the court. If it isn't obvious, I want to state it. Nothing makes sense to me when playing basketball, except for defense. I usually listen to music while at work, but this week I was very busy, so my listening time was rather low. However, rather low does not mean none at all. The Pogues' 1985 Rum Sodomy and the Lash was an album I started listening to towards the end of the week as I started to have more free time and loosen up as our weekend approached. The Pogues. Their music just makes me crave a beer in a dimly lit dive bar. For some reason, saying that makes me feel like there's some offensive undertones, so I apologize in advance. If it matters, the music also does make me want to frolic in a meadow with a pint of beer. Foster the People's 2011 Torches album is a lingering feeling that is reminiscent of last week when I thought the world was going to end. It is an album I loved in middle school, and it is an album I love even more today. Hell in a Beat, specifically, it makes me want to shake some ass. But not like normal ass shaking. I'm talking about like creative yet sultry ass shaking, alright? And then last on my list, echoing the sentiment of Hell in a Beat, is Sexy Red and Bruno Mars' Fat, Juicy, and Wet. This is another song that wants me to shake ass, and I wish I could show you how I shake ass, but I won't, because I have dreams of becoming monetized one day. I'll leave you with this. I love when people speak their truth. An example of this principle is from last week when I told a woman that I was working on a project with some less than ideal news regarding the project. She responded, "Are you serious? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. 6 question marks." And then she wrote, "Jared, all undercase, period." Like in the moment, I definitely felt the tension. But looking back, she was so real for letting me know how she felt. So if someone this week makes you feel some type of way, let them know.